Welcome back, pro wrestling fans. Welcome back, IWC. It's your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy. And I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this. Coming to you live to tape 25 feet below the surface of the earth. Wait a minute. We are live here on a Sunday. I'm taping it at the same time. It'll go up as a premiere on tonight, Sunday. Fuck it, you guys get the idea. Live to tape. One man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog for you, the fans. So, what do you want to talk about? Isn't that a famous line or phrase that a lot of people say in today's pro wrestling industry? We could talk about the attempted assassination of the former president. We could talk about how the current president just stepped out of the presidential 2024 race and is endorsing his current vice president. We could talk about how there's wars all over, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, and it was just a big bombing last night. We're not here to talk about any of that stuff, man. We're really not. We could talk about the new VP pick for the former president, soon to be the current president, JD. I don't mean JD from off the script, although he is the #1 fucking podcast on YouTube. I mean, I'm as confused as a baby at Hooters. Everybody grab your popcorn. Grab your soda, your water, your beverage, your snack, whatever it is, because this movie, in reality, in real life, is a business is about to pick up, to quote JR. You can't make it up what's going on in reality, so I'm here for a much-needed distraction. For you and for me. So let's get right into it. Greetings and salutations and all the guys and gals and members and non-members and subscribers and non-subscribers that are showing up here on Chaos Corner on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel. I'm full of piss and vinegar after what's been happening over these last couple of weeks, these last couple of months in the world. Investigations still going on. What's going to happen moving forward? Who do you listen to? Who do you rely on? Where do you get your sources and information? You know where you get it from? The good book. Shout out to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because if he's for us, no one else can be against us. Stay emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually fit. That's the only one to follow. That's the only book to read. And that'll tell you how everything is playing out in current 2024 going into 2025. I see a lot of people on all social media platforms, friends and foes alike, including people that are my friends, coming at you, being snarky, got something to say. And then there's even this bitch who today wants to get in on the act, dude, this AI bitch, Alexa. You know I have heat with her, right? I'm going to shut her down right now because you never know what's going to happen on this channel. That's why you're here. Alexa, play Tropical Thunderstorm sounds. Seeing that that's the current climate, you see that I had beautiful beach sounds on. But this bitch who I have heat with, you guys know it, you gals know it, wanted to interrupt 3 or 4 minutes in, so you know something's going on. So again, this is a stress reliever, actually a comedic relief, and so I hope I can get that across to you guys. I don't even know where I was talking right now, but we're going to jump right into it. And again, a shout out to my moderators who are here every episode. The OTS Tribal Queen. I hope you're doing well. And my brother from another mother, Austin Nance. I hope you're doing well as well. So we're going to jump right into it. And as I said, this is my love, my motivation, my passion. Here on the channel, we have over 3,000 videos. Go to the playlist. You'll see classics. You'll see in-ring clips. You'll see Dinner for Two, the show with my wife and I that we just put up this past Friday. You'll see the Chaos Corner show, because this isn't a fucking podcast. This is a show. Over 400 episodes. You'll see we're approaching almost 1 million total views on the channel, I believe. Over 20,000 viewers last week. I can't thank you much. I believe in the last 6 months, that's the second or third time in a week we've had 20, 25, almost 30,000 viewers to this channel. No better than anyone else. Just unique in what you get here and the perspective that you get on this channel from a guy like me. With my over 50 years as a historian, a researcher, a scout, an agent, a producer, a smark, a mark. That's right, I said it, a mark. And of course, my over 3 decades as a pro wrestling manager, from pillar to post, to coast to coast, and border to border, that took the fucking bumps, booked over 100 times a year, over 200 matches a year, 2 or 3 times a show. Let that sink in. Let that marinate. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. So again, navigate, go to the community section where I update and report live on WWE, SmackDown, Raw, AEW, Dynamite, Collision. Follow me on all social media platforms, not only here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel, where we're coming up on almost 1,500 subscribers in a short amount of time. Follow me on X, aka Twitter, in real time at Big Daddy GOC. And the GOC stands for the Guardian of Chaos. On Instagram, it's the Guardian of Chaos. There's 2 accounts on Facebook. That's right, there's 2 for all you geeks and dweebs and nerds and neckbeards and goons and virgins. With no offense, man. Keep faith, man. Lighten up, man. What'd I say? The first account, which is more promoting, more along with the lines of the IWC, especially for my home company, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, and that would be the account Jay Brony, just like it sounds for all you people out there with the brain of a dehydrated baby, Jay Brony. And then there's my second account on Facebook, which is a little more personal as I bring you into my life, Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian. That's right, I'll say it again, in honor of my heritage. Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian. Follow me on Gitter, Gab, True Social, Rumble. I cover it all in the IWC because it's me. It's the GOC. In order to get respect, you have to start with respecting yourself. Once you do that, you open other people's minds to respecting you, because there's 3 types of people in this world. Those who don't know what happened, those who wonder what happened, and people like the GOC Big Daddy that make things happen. So that's my opening monologue. Follow all the shows here on the channel. We still are in progress with the series Flashback, where we sit and view on the VHS DVR old-time TV with the 80s outboard, and we view all the hundreds and hundreds of VHS tapes I have down here in the vault at Chaos Chronicles. There's also today, this date in pro wrestling history, where I go through the current events of pro wrestling history all the way back to the beginning of time. Of course, there is story time here on Chaos Corner. Again, that's where I was before that bitch interrupted me. In-ring classics, in-ring clips of my career and those I've worked with, and people that have been on the same events as I have been. Everyone from Samoa Joe to AJ Styles to Christian Cage and everybody in between here on this channel. Navigate it. You'll see the Hall of Fame speech that I gave when I was inducted into the 2 different Hall of Fames, 2019 New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, class of 2019, and then the class of 2020 Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. You'll see a lot of things here on the channel. That's why this is unique. That's why this is different. That's why I'm not any better than anyone else. We have our own little niche, our own little community, our own channel right here. And then, of course, the hundreds upon hundreds of chaos clips, all under 2 minutes and 20 seconds to keep you informed on what's going on here. So that's what this channel offers. We have memberships, much appreciated, but not necessary. I think it's $2.99 a month, and you get special emotes and stuff like that, and certain videos and stuff that I haven't really done a lot, but it'll show support for the channel. Again, no paywalls, no Patreon, no super chats unless I go live. It is what it is, man. I'd like to make a couple of bucks on here for my hard-earned time, 80 to 90 videos a month that I pump out, but if not, it doesn't matter because I am here regardless. It's just that simple. And just know, and I know that you know, that I know, that you're watching. Something is going to implode. I mean, really implode here tonight. The intensity is too much. September 4th, 2022, or 2022, however you want to say it, potato, patata, tomato, tomato, CM Punk versus Jon Moxley at All Out at the Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois. Business is about to pick up. The 50 greatest calls over 50 years from good old JR. Remember, this is the first time I'm reading this live here with you, so we'll read it together. Forgive me for my linguistic skills. Oh, wait, hold on. We're only 11 minutes in. Stand by. Again, enjoy the sounds of Chaos Corner. We're going to take attendance. Bueller. Anyone? Hello? McFly, is anybody home? I expect to see you in the chat. Sugar-free. No, they don't sponsor me. I only have one true loyal sponsor, and he hasn't been sponsoring me lately either. So it is what it is. I'm solo, and that's just the way I like it. And anything that's living, that's growing, that's moving through this world, there are going to be challenging times. How apropos for today. I think I got a piece of hair. Too much? Too soon? Too late? It's inevitable, and none of us are going to get from one end of this life to the other without facing that reality in some way. And this is apropos. I think the people and places that thrive are the ones who handle those challenges the best. As AEW was heading into its biggest annual pay-per-view, All Out, in 2022, we were putting together some compelling broadcasts and cementing our place as one of the top-rated shows on our network, all while growing in all the other metrics that matter to a booming startup as well. With a stellar roster and CM Punk on top, AEW was delivering both on the balance sheet and in the ring. But as always, in life, things weren't rosy everywhere. And we know what's going on in current 2024 with AEW and the plummeting ratings, no matter whether you bring in Okada, Monet Banks, Ospreay, MJF returns. Well under 1 million in the ratings. And people say ratings don't matter. You got your heads up your asses if you think the sponsors think that. Take it from me. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I apologize for the cussing. But as always in life, things weren't rosy everywhere, as I just said. Not backstage and not with me personally, to quote JR. As All Out 2022 rolled around, it just been through a year of constant challenges as I recovered from skin cancer. And we've been praying for you, JR. Constantly, and you've even gotten back to me on X, and I appreciate that. I'm humbled by that, JR. Always praying for Jim Ross. You're a good man. I was sore and worn down, but I never missed work. Every day I went to the hospital and had the treatment. Went home alone, and then once a week continued to go live on air with AEW Dynamite. It was the alone part that was the hardest for me. I'm not going to lie. When I first got the news, I was scared to death. My age and being many miles from my family back in Oklahoma meant I had to face whatever was coming down the line at me alone. And you always had your Savior, Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, JR. And that's what we talked about in our goings back and forth on X. My daughters have their own lives, their own families, and their own businesses to manage. I'm not the kind to roll up on them and expect they drop anything for me. As a matter of fact, I would have to think I was a minute's bother to anyone. So despite their kind offers to support, I stayed in Florida, where I have a place just 5 minutes away from the Mayo Clinic, which is where, thankfully, I got word at the end of 2021 that I was cancer-free. But because of the intense radiation treatments, I still had weekly appointments there. Still do. Where they scraped away tissue that would allow the radiation burn wound above my ankle to heal. It hurt like hell. But I saw any dead cells they got rid of as getting me closer to being 100%. But because of where it was and the lack of flesh around the ankle area, they had trouble stopping the bleeding and get it to heal up. Somewhere between the visits and the cross-country traveling with an open wound, I decided I finally needed to take a few weeks off. Just something to recharge my batteries a little. Even then, I didn't want to stay away too long, as I knew I had a great thing going with my old partner, Tony Schiavone. That's what I call him. And AEW's new and talented play-by-play guy, Sockface. I mean, no offense, man, Excalibur. I borrowed that one from Cornette, but he's right. He does look like he's wearing a sock on his face, and he's kind of over the top and annoying as well. But who am I to shit on anyone else? That's good shit, pal. Vince McMahon, what's going on here today on Chaos Corner, man? I apologize. No offense, man. Kayfabe. I was a little weary on my return, but Excalibur made me tear up when he said his father asked him if he knew how lucky he was to be getting the education he was getting working with JR. His words hit me at the right time to make me immediately emotional, because after what I had been through and was still going through, I'd never felt older or more beaten down. Excalibur's words made me feel useful and let me know that I'm still contributing to the business that I've poured my whole life into. 50 years, Jim Ross. 50 plus at this point. But education is a two-way street, and Excalibur has been a huge asset to me too, educating me on other styles of wrestling that he is proficient in and that I'm not as familiar with, such as Japanese strong style or the Mexican lucha style. I might be in my 70s and known as the voice of wrestling, but I'm still excited to learn. I'm still excited to be a part of a team, part of a cohesive locker room. When I managed the talent in WWE, I didn't like we were a sports team. And as we've seen in our favorite leagues time and time again, the morale of the locker room can dictate the results on the field. Many great teams have fizzled because of the locker room disharmony, and many not so great teams have triumphed because they played as one unit. Very true. Great analysis. Vince used to love when there was tension with the boys. He saw it as a competitive thing. So nothing made him happier than when the locker room was on edge. Well, nothing except maybe a fart noise, and we've gone to learn on what McMahon's really all about. He loved those more than anything else as an immature, sophomoric, idiotic pervert that he is. Oh, I added that. I've always taken the opposite approach on the locker room, not fart noises. I want talent that's hungry for success. I want them to strive to be the best they can be. But there's no success to be had from letting tensions build and whispers spread. Wrestling is a team game, and everyone needs to pull in the same direction or the ship goes off course. Kind of like now, as they're rearranging the chairs on the deck of the Titanic here in real life in the USA. What? Man, I'm not making a comparison. It's kind of reality, to be honest. That's why I'm a little animated more than usual here today on Chaos Corner. There's something that'll always be true, at least until someone can figure out how to go there and wrestle by themselves. Wrestling is a team game, and everyone needs to pull in the same direction, or as I said, the ship can go off course very quickly. I'm rehashing that. That's something that'll always be true. In a business full of tough people with big egos, I've seen and heard all kinds of finger pointing, violence, spats, brawls, and death threats. And those were just directed at me. I guess that's why I didn't really get too animated when I heard there was a backstage altercation after All Out 2022 pay-per-view between CM Punk, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks. And Larry, too. Larry, the dog. I called the main event of that show where Punk challenged Jon Moxley for the AEW World title. And there was something in the Chicago air that night. Or was that Larry in Wembley? Somebody correct me in the chat. I have a gut feeling, maybe from sitting out here so many years, something is going to implode. I mean, really implode here tonight. The intensity is too much. Little did I know that the real fireworks would ignite after the match, away from other people and between AEW's top stars. Punk took over after the show press conference, and to squash some rumors and pour a little gas on others. And after Punk recounted his version of events, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks went to his dressing room to discuss what was said, and a scuffle occurred. Well, one young buck got hit with a chair, the other one got knocked on his ass. I mean, I don't know if you could call a scuffle. What? The fallout left AEW with division in the locker room, threatening lawsuits, and an internal investigation that sidelined Punk for months. And we know what happened after with that. Crimea River, broken glass, everywhere. People pissing on the stage, and they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise, got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with a baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far, because the guardian of chaos repossessed my car. Don't push me. Have you ever went over a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good? I mean, the macaroni soggy, the peas are moist, and the chicken tastes like wood. No? Too much? Too late? I said a M-A-S, a T-E-R, a G with a double E. I said I go by the unforgettable name of the man they call the Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world, all the foxy ladies and pretty girls. I'm going down in history as the baddest brother there ever could be. No? I got skills, man. To the beat, so you meet, well. No, I haven't been drinking. I haven't smoked anything. No, man, it's just me, a sober mind, using my discernment, man. You better be that way in 2024. I really needed this. The fallout left AEW with division in the locker room. Threatened lawsuits, as I said, internal investigations, and sidelined Punk for months, and that's where I got off track talking about the scapegoat Jungle Jack and the video that came out, and Tony Khan being afraid for his life. I'm jumping all over the place here. And we know where Punk is now, and perhaps the hottest feud in all of wrestling with Drew McIntyre. So I think things worked out pretty well for him. But let's refocus. I heard Kenny in an interview describe what happened as a blow-up, not dissimilar to what you'd find in any locker room across any other sport. I think his take, as someone who was involved in a sober, rational way to handle an issue that blew up into something massive in our business and in our company in particular. For any issues that risk spilling out into the public, you want to get all the involved parties into a room and settle it as quickly after it happened as you possibly can. Behind closed fucking doors is the way you're supposed to do it. If you're a man, I'm just saying, I'm giving you my personal thoughts and views as well. Wrestling is a genre where there's always been a right way and a wrong way of doing business. I've seen some guys and gals get heat in the locker room because they're acting in a way that's frowned upon. But it's because they're so new and they have no idea what the protocols are. That's where history and respect and tradition and honor come into it. Don't make the analogy again of the front windshield and the rearview mirror. My regulars know what the fuck I'm talking about. Other times, people have been assholes and they've been ostracized for good reason. But most of the time, problems arise because people feel disrespected, or they're angry, or they have an issue they feel isn't being addressed. And you guys know, refer to my saying, self-made, about respect. Remember my background. Read the Mitt. Go up to the top of the page and see what I did for a living. And then you'll understand why the chains. That's reality. And in my view, the only way to find out what the issues are between all parties is to talk it out. Talk it out and make sure none of what's being discussed is leaked online and adding gas to the fire with all these dirt sheets out there. And everybody's got a fucking podcast and everybody's mother, brother, sister, cousin, uncle, sister's ass, whatever you want to say. Expanding any rapidly growing business is challenging, and we need cool heads to prevail. We need people to communicate as professionals, professionals who are on the same team. And if at the end of the talking and listening there's no way forward, the person responsible for the whole locker room should voice their take on it. And mine always was, if we can't solve this problem, then I'll have to eliminate it, as my responsibility is to the collective. The company has to come first. I've said this many times to talent. We have to take care of the goose before the goose lays the golden eggs and we deposit it in the bank. So to me, that's the bottom line. And not because Stone Cold said so. Well, I added that. After the altercation, it seems that all people involved have handled it internally, and Punk has come back to headline AEW's new show, Collision. That shows you the time frame of what I'm reading from right now as we go forward to go back here in the time machine on story time. Where was I? It was a challenging time, but one that got resolved, and all parties decided to move on for the good of the goose. AEW's goose is getting bigger and bigger, and so will the challenges that come with that growth. However, I feel that there's talent enough at the top to deal with whatever new dilemmas and rewards are sure to come down the road. In a business that's run on friction, everyone doesn't have to be friends, but they do all have to pull for the same team. That's what we have here on Story Time with the GOC. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back. I plan on pumping out a couple of shows tonight for your distraction, my distraction. So don't go anywhere. And you know what I'm going to say right now. Wait for it. I'll give my moderators a chance to catch up. I'll say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. Don't you dare miss it.